Tune in and watch Lori and Amelia as they talk health and wellness, keep you in the know, highlight do-gooders in promo, and spill the tea in Never Have I Ever. And now it's time for the rundown.
Hello.
It's been so long. I feel like it's been years.
It feels like it's been years.
I better see you soon, and I'll mention when I better be seeing you soon. But we have so much to talk about. I'm going to get straight into the sponsor.
Okay.
But before I do the sponsor, maybe people forgot who we were, because obviously I'm forgetting things. So welcome to episode 113 of The Rundown. I'm Amelia Madl with Promo Corner. And my lovely twin over there is Lori Bolton from the Magnet Group. Yay! And today's sponsor is Totally Bamboo. So when it comes to combining innovation, craftsmanship, and sustainability, one name stands out, and that's Totally Bamboo. Pioneers in their field, Totally Bamboo introduced the first ever cutting board and have been leading the category ever since. Their story begins in North Hollywood, where founders Tom and Joanne Sullivan, known for their work supplying director's chairs, I did not know that, to film and television sets, sought a material that was both lighter and stronger than traditional oak. They found their solution in bamboo. I love this little picture. Obviously, this is a throwback. This is a minute or two ago.
Yes.
So as we know, bamboo is strong yet light and super renewable. It grows really fast, so it's a very eco-conscious choice. And what started as handcrafted gifts made from repurposing materials soon evolved into a full line of products that has set new standards in the kitchenware space. Totally Bamboo's ongoing innovation includes the first laminated bamboo salad bowl, decorative inlay cutting boards, and Greenlight, the industry's first dishwasher-safe bamboo board. So make sure you go check them out, TotallyBambooPromo.com. They are also proud to be a certified women-owned business and continuing in crafting sustainability beautifully. Love, love, love that.
That's a cute picture of Tom and Joanne.
That's so cute.
Picture.
I hope that's okay. I just stole it off their website.
Yeah, so cute.
I use my Kansas cutting board all the time. You had sent me one several years ago. And so Kansas is basically rectangular, but it does have a little cutout of the corner, and it has like all the major cities, and I use it all the time.
Love, love, love.
So Lori, I know we did get to catch up a little bit off air, or else this would have been like a 3-hour long episode.
Right.
But how's it going? What's new? Give us like a short synopsis of what's happened since we last talked.
So we took June off, right? Because we were both traveling. I was gone. Mark and I were gone for 18 days, longest holiday I've ever taken. Started off in London and then spent 4 days there, went off to Greece, Croatia, and Turkey. Amazing. Traveled with Sarah Goshgarian Unruh and her husband JT. So we met in Athens. Amazing. Quick story, our luggage got lost. No, I shouldn't say lost. It never got on the plane in Portland, Oregon. So we were 4 days without luggage in London. So we've got about, I think, a $4,000 bill that we've sent to British Airways because we had nothing, like literally nothing. All my fancy stuff for theater, we didn't end up doing the theater because we didn't have, anyhow. Finally, got our luggage back 12 hours before we're to fly to Athens because we're like, okay, if we don't get it now, we're like really in trouble. We saw Windsor Castle. We walked by where Queen Elizabeth II is buried inside the chapel. And then off to Stonehenge and Bath. And
you guys explored all over. Because when I was in London, I was like, ooh, that's a little bit of a journey to get over to that area.
We were gone for 14 hours on this particular tour.
Yeah.
And then in Turkey, we went to a Michelin star restaurant saw one of the 7 wonders of the world, a mausoleum. Like we literally did everything. I think you've got a pic of us on the boat. There was Scarlet Night, which is really Scarlet Day. You're supposed to wear red all day long. So that bottom picture, you've got Mark, Sarah, and I, where Mark and I dressed up. So he was Isaac from the Love Boat. And I'm Julie from the Love Boat. Anyhow, Mark won. We didn't even realize it was a contest. They pulled him out with 2 other people, and the crowd like voted, and then the judges. And Mark won on the entire ship for best costume.
Of course he does, because he doesn't do anything little. He does everything extra.
Exactly. So it was so fun. And then we got called up to dance around the pool this night, but it was the most amazing holiday.
Okay.
So amazing. Yeah. Amazing holiday. And we have booked, when I say we, the 4 of us, we have already booked our cruise for next year. So it's the Amalfi Coast, Cannes, and Ibiza. And so super excited about that. Same time period, end of May. And we'll spend, Italy's been on my bucket list for many years. So we'll go in early and spend like 4 days-ish in like Rome, Florence, somewhere around there. Tuscany.
Yeah. Love it. Quick question on that picture of Mark. Hard to tell, but is he wearing a shirt under that tuxedo jacket?
No.
That's what I thought. I was like, I don't think anybody else would be able to call that out, but I did.
Yes, I know. He had on shorts and then red solo dudes, hey dudes, and then the bow tie. Oh no, he was very yummy. Yeah.
Good job, Mark.
Good job, Mark.
Well, you were off exploring Europe. I was working, but then as soon as you got back, I left, and we were in South Africa. So that was my summer vacation. There were 7 of us, me, my family, my husband, my daughter, my son, my father-in-law, and then my husband's sister and her husband. So 7 of us traveled, long days to travel. We did not lose our luggage, thank God. But I had a toothbrush on the plane with me, a blanket. Like I made sure to have a little bit of backup in case I ran into an issue. But we had an amazing time. The staff couldn't have been greater. I did not get to explore like I would like to because we were secluded because it was a lodge out in the middle of nowhere, a hunting, but we had a great time. So those are just a few of the pictures. So literally I was in the back of a truck. The giraffe was right there. I was like, stop, back up. I need a picture. We got to go hang out with elephants. This was a lookout tower. The farm that we were on, if you call it a farm, was 18,000 acres. Everything fenced in. And then this was our family and then the staff. We all had specific guides with each group of us. So this was our guide right here, Drakus, who I told him he could be adopted into the family. He was just a little cutie patootie.
So
too bad you live in South Africa, or I would try to make a love connection with him and my daughter. But long distance, little long distance there, but
a little hard. Do you know what I find amazing? Whether it was a hike that took us 3 miles up, and the incline was incredible, to a little house where they served homemade wine, and and then we kept going to a fortress that's been there for I don't even know. But for me, it's finding all these nooks and crannies in the world. So even for you, seeing this giraffe and the elephant, there's so much to explore. And that is just mind-blowing to me, of all the nooks and crannies.
Well, yeah, in the US, we have deer, obviously. Where you are, maybe antelope, maybe elk. But these animals are, I'm going to say, cousins to some of them, but just to see them in the wild, not in a zoo. So to be able to touch an elephant, and the other animals we couldn't see. It was a conservatory where we saw the elephants, where they were rehousing them and showing people how they can be used for things other than circus animals. But just being so close to an animal without it being caged in, like at a zoo or something. So giraffes, ostrich, zebras, wildebeest. Warthogs, the mommy warthog and all the little babies would run in the yard, where we were sitting around having cocktails at night or whatever. So it was just just a whole different thing. It was really cool.
Isn't it amazing? And again, some people, like, I also think like the people that are at this, top of this zigzag, they probably never have left this little home of theirs on this hill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just,
yeah.
I feel very, very, very fortunate that we are able to, as Mark says, move about the cabin. Like, we're able to explore the world.
Out of the people that we were with in our lodge, because we were very secluded, so we had 3 guides and then the staff that was cooking and stuff, only one of them had ever been out of South Africa. And South Africa is just a little portion of Africa as a continent. The others had not been out of that area of South Africa. One actually came to the US during COVID to work because everything was shut down there. So he came here and worked on farms. But yeah, they're like, we haven't traveled. We haven't been on a plane. It's just mind boggling when we're like, oh, but we're flying here. And when we get back, like Ted went to New York and then I'm going to Chicago. And it's just a different life. You just,
for sure.
So much shoes. Yeah. So super cool. So I got your new slide and I really like what you're doing because you're gearing towards some of our demographics. So tell us, you're living with Lori.
Yes. So today's Living with Lori is foods that naturally balance male hormones. So for all of our male listeners out there, these are great. So from zesty oranges to tasty tomatoes, these are all superfoods that have the power to naturally balance male hormones. So you've got the dark leafy greens for magnesium, the fatty fish for your vitamin D, and then you've got your Brazil nuts, which I talk about a lot because I put them in my smoothies, for the selenium, and then the tomatoes for lycopene, oranges, the avocados, and flax seeds. So these are all, gentlemen, great for naturally balancing your hormones. One thing I do get asked from mostly women, they're like, don't guys have menopause too? They do. They have a flux in their hormones as well as they get older. I mean, we all
testosterone drops.
So, going back to puberty, whether you're male or female, we all are going through those different stages of life. So yes, men have hormones too, testosterone drops, and these are great natural foods to help balance those hormones. I love it.
And
yes,
I know this is geared toward men, but I like all of those foods minus the avocado. I have an issue with avocado. But I did want to tell you, I have my garden this year. So I've been getting fresh zucchini. I have tomatoes out the yin yang. I'm like giving away tomatoes. I only did 6 plants, but they're producing like crazy. I have fresh potatoes. And my cantaloupe and watermelon are starting to come up and they're like this big right now. So hopefully soon I'll be able to have fresh melon as well.
Please take a picture of your garden and send it to me. I would love to.
It's a little wretched right now because it hadn't been weeded very well since we've been gone, but the plants are still growing. I'm just working around the weed situation.
I love it. I think gardens are amazing.
Yeah, it's fun too. It's something to do in the evening if I need to get out of the house. I just go out there and start pulling weeds and picking stuff.
So good, right?
Yeah.
So good.
I'm going bigger next year, but.
Love it.
Okay, Lori, you told me you have a lot of knowing. You know a lot. You've been back in the office a little bit longer than I have, but
I've got a few for you.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. The Image Group promoted Allison, I want to say her last name, it's R-A-B-E, so I'm going to say Rabe, to CEO, so the Image Group. And then Alyssa Incroft, MAS, is now the Strategic Account Manager at Lane 7 Apparel.
Yes.
It's so exciting. And then Amy McCrae, she's the new president of Eskimo Joe's. They've been around for 30 years. And then TechWeld is hiring a Southeast RSM. So that's exciting. So I had TechWell's hiring a Southeast RSM, and then Amy McCrae, she's the new president of Eskimo Joe's. They've been around for 30 years.
Nice. Okay. Well, I have a few as well. So Melanie Langill, I hope I'm saying that right, Langille. She was promoted or brought on as the vice president of Promobilia at SRG, St. Regis Group. I love the title, Promobilia.
Yeah, so good.
Don't know what that entitles, but it sounds really freaking cool. Storm Creek, we were talking, they are just bringing in all the rock stars. So Tom Clouser went to work for them a while ago. Dan Jenny just went to work with them. He's a national account manager. And then Amy, I'm going to say Mazer. I'm sorry, Amy. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, even though I've known you forever. She was at Perry Ellis, and now she's at Storm Creek. So they are just going gangbusters, taking over the industry. And then my buddy Craig Wallace, who's a local KC boy, he joins TechWeld as the director of national accounts.
So much movement. And let's go back to Perry Ellis for a second. So Jeff Smith, he's the vice president over there. So he's actually now hiring to replace Amy. So that position is open and posted. I don't know where he's at in the process, but that is something that is available.
Good to know, because people are always looking for new gigs. And then stuff coming up down the pipeline, which I hope I'm going to see you at. That's what I was going to ask. Are you going to be at Chicago?
Yes.
In ASI? Okay, yes. So I will see you in a couple weeks.
Oh, and guess what? I'll have a special guest star with me.
MC
in
the house. You know what? MC is awesome because he is the best photographer and recorder. So we might put him to work. No free rides, MC. No free rides.
No, I'll let him know.
So for anyone that doesn't know for sure, but ASI is happening July 22nd through 24th in Chicago. We hope to see you there. And then following that is the SAC show in Anaheim, California this year. And that will be August 20th and 21st. Will I see you there as well?
Yes.
Just booked my flight this week. So 2 months in a row. Yes.
So exciting.
Good. We're going to get this. We're going to tear this up. Okay, so do-gooders. I did have one that I saw. It's happened a little bit ago, but Charles River Apparel sponsors the Circle of Hope's flagship fundraiser. So it serves as a presenting sponsor for Hope Blooms in 2025, and the flagship fundraiser hosted by the Circle of Hope, it took place in Waltham, Massachusetts. So shout out to them. They've donated more than $500,000 worth of apparel to support the Circle of Hope's mission.
Amazing. I've got 3 for you.
Oh, okay.
So Jody Schillinger, MAS over at Maple Ridge Farms. She hosted Kindness Week at Mosineen Middle School. And she shared the 8 limbs of yoga and how the principles can be applied in everyday life on and off. On and off the mat. She focused on breath work, reflection, laughter, and movement centered around kindness, curiosity, connection, and conversations. Really amazing. Thank you, Jody, for influencing our younger generation. I think it's amazing, especially if they can get some of these principles when they're younger in life. And then Kevin Walsh over at Showdown Displays. Their HR team coordinated the international rescue efforts to return one of their very own from the complications in Israel back to their home in the United States. So that is super, super powerful. Bravo to Showdown Displays. And then my last one, I'm throwing this under do-gooders. It's an interesting concept, but it's Starbucks. So Starbucks has a new tactic, and it's handwritten messages on anything you get. So it can be your coffee mug. It's called Behavioral Economics in Action. And it costs nothing, and it makes you feel connected and valued. And personal gestures can drive big results. So bottom line is that a handwritten note, a gesture, I think this is I do think this falls into do-gooders just because when you drive through or you walk in and you see a little like have a great day on your mug or a smiley face, again, it costs them nothing to do. And it's just a simple act that goes a long way. It makes you feel good throughout the day. So again, that's behavioral economics. That's what they're classifying it as. So those are my 3 do-gooders.
Love it, love it, love it. Lori, we both traveled a lot, so I don't know if you had time or you watched anything on the plane or you've been keeping up with the news, but do you have any?
You are going to be blown away.
Okay.
We went to the movies last night, an 8:30 movie. We saw F1. I knew you were going to be blown away because I am not one to, I never have time. I never have time to watch movies. Or TV for that matter. And I say that like loosely, everybody can make time, right? But I choose to study and learn and do some other stuff on my free time. So yes, Mark and I went to go see F1 last night. That's with starring Brad Pitt, Carrie Condon, Jameson Idris, and Javier Bardem. So it's that Formula One racing. It was so good. We did not get home until 12:30, and Miss Lori did not fall asleep.
Okay. Well, I don't think you could have because I feel like there's probably a bunch of cars like revving up in the background, so it would have woke you up if you did. I want to go see that. Mission Impossible was the last movie I saw, and I was like, it's a little long for me. It was like 3 hours, but I would go see that. And I love Brad Pitt.
Our plan today is we're going to watch the one Mission Impossible here at home. Tomorrow, another Mission Impossible. And then on Saturday, go to the theater and see the last Mission Impossible. So that's our game plan.
Nice.
I know. But I thought you'd be proud of me because I haven't been to the movies in years.
Good girl. Good girl. My son's actually going to see the new Jurassic Park tonight, which I was like, I didn't even know there was a new Jurassic Park. Shows you what I know.
I didn't either. And I have to be honest, this is embarrassing to say this, but when did the movie theater start serving wine and alcohol?
Girl, like a long time ago.
So exciting to me. And they didn't check my bag. So I'm starting to think like I probably could have brought something in.
Yeah, they don't check your bags. I've been bringing wine to the movie theater for a long time before they started selling it. But now that they sell it, it's just easier to buy it from them.
It's expensive. Like
it is. Yeah, it's one of those little tiny things that's like a 4 or 5 ounce glass is like $10 or $15. So
anyhow, super exciting. And yes, it was a great date night.
Oh, right. Well, the only thing that I've been watching just because it's been on the news constantly is the Diddy trial and the verdict.
Yes.
So for anybody who lives under shell, P. Diddy was only convicted or found guilty, I should say, of 2 of the 5 charges against him, which a little crazy. We'll see what the verdict is, how long he serves, what's happening. So that's kind of what I'm watching right now, keeping up with that. And we're recording this 4th of July weekend, so we need to get going. I got sun to go. So before we do go, Lori.
Never have I ever. All right. So this one, never have I ever lied about my relationship status.
I'm sure I did, like in my early days when I was dating somebody. Maybe I said it wasn't. I don't know, girl. I've been married 20 years in a month, so I don't remember that long ago. And Facebook wasn't around back when I was still dating, so I didn't like.
I definitely have, and I've done it when I was single, if somebody was trying to go in for a move, try to do it. I'm like, oh no, I'm married.
Okay, yeah. So on that side, I have where you just brush the creeper off. You're like, sorry, my boyfriend's coming. Yes, I was thinking the reverse, where you're in a relationship and you told someone you weren't. That I can't remember doing. But yes, I've definitely told people I had a boyfriend, even when I didn't, just to like, shoo, be gone. Yeah,
be gone, be gone. Yeah, I'm sure guys do it to girls too, to women that are just crazy. Like, I'm sorry, I've got 2 wives. I don't need a third.
Yeah, definitely. There were times I would like, if a friend was married or had a nice ring, I'd be like, can I borrow that for a second? And you'd put it on your finger just so you'd like make it obvious, like there's a ring, even though it wasn't yours. Just like
Right?
move on. Bye-bye.
Crazy.
All right. Well, we're going to end it there before we start exploding things for the 4th of July because we do record this early. So thank you again to our sponsors over at Totally Bamboo. Be sure you go check them out at totallybamboopromo.com and share your do-gooders and movements around. We love to hear stuff. And then tune in again for our next fresh episode on July 25th.
Maybe we'll record in person, Amelia.
I know. I'm thinking
so too. Because we got
Bubbles.
House. Bubbles, yes.
Bubbles.
Cheers, girl. So great to see your gorgeous face. I'm glad you're home safe and sound and had an amazing holiday. And
Thank you. You as well.
Thanks. Good to see you.
See you guys soon. Bye.